What's going on, munchies? It's the Speaking Chef, and I'm back with another video. Welcome to another episode of The Deeper Side. In fact, welcome to the first episode of season 2 of The Deeper Side. So today's guest is none other than the beautiful Nthabiseng Bitunana. So, but before we get to know a little bit about Nthabiseng, we're going to start with a lovely game, okay? And this one is called No Hesitations. Okay, guys, this is the first time we're playing this game, and I'm so excited about it. So, basically, how it goes down is that we're going to think of a category, and then we need to obviously like exchange things from that particular category, right?
Without hesitating.
Yes,
Yeah.
without hesitating. So, the first category I think we can go for is colors.
Okay.
Yeah, who's
Yeah.
gonna start? You start.
Red,
Black,
gray,
white,
silver.
amber.
Hello. You see?
You see?
What did I just
I'm
say
the
that?
winner.
You are. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Right to me now. I'll go for letters M,
Z,
L,
B,
O,
A,
P,
Q,
R,
T,
D,
E,
A,
F,
M,
J.
Oh, I said M again.
Okay, cool. That was an absolutely fun game. Okay, so from fun to some deep conversations and to getting to know Nthabiseng a little bit more. Ntabi, firstly, welcome to the Deeper Side. This is the first episode of season 2.
Yay.
So I'm excited that you're here. Thank you
Thank
so much.
you.
How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling calm. It's been a lovely week, I'm not gonna lie, and yeah, just calm and light. Honestly, yeah, it's a good day. It's a good day.
Amazing. So it's so not weird, but it's quite different that you say calm and light. And you sound like somebody who is always in tune with their feelings, the emotions,
Yeah.
So to kick things off, before we go any further, like talk to us about your mental health or mental capacity, like the importance of actually knowing how you feel. Because sometimes you can ask somebody, how are you feeling? How are you doing? And the person just says, I'm fine. But
Yeah.
meanwhile, they're really not fine.
Yeah.
Is there a routine or is there something specific that you do to ensure that you are always aware and in tune of how you're feeling?
Um, Honestly, no.
Mm.
Right? But it's always just stopping, and especially if something is happening and I can feel that it feels weird with me, like I know how I normally feel and I know when it's outside of my
The
comfortability.
norm.
Yeah. And then if it's like that, then I sit to question what just happened. Did something maybe just happen that didn't sit well with me? I study the room, I look back and be like, oh, I spoke to this person and they passed like a joke where they were probably not joking. There was so much seriousness in the joke, and that probably didn't sit well with me. So it's literally just studying the room if something feels unusual. But yeah, that's just how I track it. But otherwise, I know, and I thing is, I know how to move about with my feels as well. If I know that I'm feeling too down, I choose not to interact because then I don't want to rub it off. Like some people can catch how you feeling. So I
Yeah,
choose to limit.
energy.
Yeah. I choose to, no, I'm good. I'm good to a certain extent. Like I'm good to this point. Let's
Yeah.
let's just leave it there. Because if I try to then interact more, you're gonna catch that I'm not as fine, and it's probably gonna like not be good. So
But
yeah.
you then you that's how you are, but then somebody else might be different. So how do you understand that this is how you are and not enforce it to somebody else? Because
Sure.
maybe your friend or a colleague, you can ask them how you're feeling, but maybe in that moment they don't want to share how they're feeling. They just say, I'm fine. Do you keep like nudging them to say, "Ay, well, how are you feeling? I can see you're not good. Like, what's happening and whatever." Or do you give them that space to say, "Okay, cool, no, whenever they find, they'll come."
Yeah, I think it's more just like about respect in the sense. Also, it solely depends on who it is. You have your people and you have like people you understand some people.
Yeah.
Like I'm just gonna make an example. My friend of like 12 years, 15 years, I know that I probably need to keep asking them what's up for them to speak,
For
And then I'm just making an example, my colleague of like 2 years or something, I've studied that they prefer not to say anything and they only speak when they're comfortable.
ready.
So it's with the respect to say, okay, I'm gonna go as far as to ask what's going on, And if you're like, ah, I'm good, man, I just don't want to speak about it now. It's cool. I respect that because I know when you're okay,
You'll
you're gonna
talk
come.
about it.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's
It's
beautiful.
honestly just knowing the
Mm,
person. Yeah, and just respect. Otherwise, yeah.
I love that. So
Yeah.
you mentioned your people. Talk to me about your people. Talk to me about your family, your upbringing. How was it? Um, did you grow up in a nuclear home where there's mom, there's dad, or was it a thing whereby ukuliswa
Mm.
magazi and things like that? Yeah, take us through your childhood or
Yeah.
upbringing
Oh, it
with
was.
your people.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Like I sit now and I look back and I'm like, wow, what like an upbringing. And like growing up, I was the only child. Like it only starts to feel now like there's noise because I have little cousins and all of that,
Mm,
which is weird. Excuse me. It's very weird. I caught up at a older age,
mm,
having people, kids around me when I used to be like the only kid.
yeah.
But ngikhuliswe ugogo,
Oh, wow.
and it's not that the parents were absent, but they were just not staying in the house with
Okay.
us. Yeah.
Okay.
So ngikhule ngihlala nogogo literally from when I was born.
Mm,
Yeah, and then it was awesome. Like that woman is amazing. As like everyone would say, I feel like it's underrated or an understatement. I owe that woman my life. Literally, I would do anything for her, and my mom as well. They're amazing women.
yeah.
I didn't really have that present father figure, I would say,
Yeah.
because things didn't go as perfect
Yeah.
with my dad and my mom when I was still young. I think I was like 9 months old,
Mm,
and but he was still there. But it's different,
okay.
it's
There in
different.
terms of like paying maintenance and
Yeah,
things
yeah, yeah.
like that. Okay.
It's just different. And then just also growing up, mom like she went through what she went through with my dad.
Yeah.
She obviously had this thing against my dad.
Yeah.
So I would tell you now, if I had just stayed with her and not my grandmother, I probably would have hated my dad today, right?
Wow.
But with my grandmother, like my grandmother would always like tell me, listen, you wouldn't be here if it weren't for your dad.
Good
You
point.
would have not been here. Yes, he's not there. Would always like tell me I wouldn't be here if it weren't for my dad and all of those things. So she just showed, like, taught me how to love my dad, regardless of whether he's there or not. Respect him,
Yeah.
regardless of whether he's there or not. And yeah, I'm not saying my mom was doing something wrong. Hence, I mentioned in the beginning that she went through this hard thing with my dad. She obviously has that heart towards him. But they're good. They're good. I think as time goes, she's learned to like forgive and
Yeah.
all of those things.
And I think a lot of people experience different things. I think even the munchies can let us know in the comment section below because you'll find that sometimes the dad is not present, but then because the mom is so bitter, she will want to poison the child against the father. And I don't think that's actually good because sometimes it tends to cause the child to want to really find their father, things like that, or have this sort of animosity towards the father. And that's one thing I appreciate about my mom as well. Regardless of the fact that my mom and dad are not married, but she never influenced me as well in a sense to say, hey, dad is not a priest, your dad is like this, no, she always said like good things about my dad, regardless. And I think that's something I admire a lot. So your grandmother doing that is really like great, like kudos to her.
Yeah, no, amazing. Telling you,
Yeah.
it's important.
But you have seen your father.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, no, I do have a relationship with him. I do. Just for now, it's on pause because I'm in the other son's world for now. But yeah, it's proper. Like he's there. He's there. It's good.
And they are on talking terms with your mom. No, but they're good.
They fine. Yeah. Like
Okay.
if they were to meet a strategy, cool. It's cool. Nothing is too bad now. No, things are calm.
And the fact that they would never be married, because I think in a child's mind, well, at least in my mind, I've always been like, mom, dad, together in the house, and me,
Yes.
and that obviously put in me also the desire to one day have my own family, get married, have a child within, the marriage and things like that. Was it the same case for you, or you just like, you know, it doesn't affect me, I don't mind?
No, I think from 9 months, I was
like it feels like I was born into it. Like this whole idea of it's just my mom, at the time, and it was like I didn't. Oh, already like I did have, when it comes to like school friends. Oh, my dad did that. My dad did that. It was always like, oh, what happened? You know what? And my mom didn't want to like share too much at a young age because of things can get too bad.
Yeah.
But as the little information that I did have, it was enough for me to say, you know what, this is my norm. Like, dad is not here, mom is just here, grandma is just here. That's it. It was just it felt like I was born into it. Because from 9 months and then till this age, my dad was never together with my mom. Yeah. Yeah.
And then growing up in a household with like full of women, and I mean you praise your grandmother and your mother for being powerful and amazing women. How has that impacted you as a woman? From your young age to the age that you're on now. Like, what are some lessons? What are some nuggets that you've gotten along the way that have, played a role, influenced the woman that you are today?
I would say, let alone just them being church women, and how can I put this? Like, I feel like it's them, it's their character, you know. My family is the women, okay, the women in my household, very calm, very gentle, very subtle, and just also seeing how my grandmother would handle situations when, like, I was young growing up. It was always with like a soft tone. My grandmother, like, she only speaks once, and I'm so glad that she got to raise me up as her grandchild, and the way that I was built too, like ngilalela in the first instruction,
You don't
and
need to be told twice.
no,
Oh, that's beautiful.
and she's that type of person. Like, she can't speak Ghanaian, so she probably saw me as a blessing because she will only say something once and it's done. Yeah. So just ukulandela indlela ayiyo, and also I think I was complimenting her character as well.
Sure.
Like meeting her somewhere, just to make her bringing me up easier as well. And same with my mom. My mom doesn't shy. Never. And not to say ukuthi bengasumntwana stove or something. Obviously I would still ishukela and drop this playing a stove. But she just akakwazi, she's so soft. Like, she's so calm. So akakwazi ngisho ukumemeza. That's it. And both of them, and ngingasho ngithi it's never usual ukuthi uthi unjena uthole umntwana ofana naye. It's usually I can't
The
speak,
opposite.
but you have to scream because your kid is always not yet. But I was always the child who khulunywa kayi-one nami, and that's it. I'm done.
Oh, they've influenced you in that sense to be like you're calm, and you're quite a very calm person. I don't think I've ever heard you like scream or shout or fight. Have you ever been in a physical fight before?
Physical,
Never.
angiziboni.
So when Zanjani do my try.
Oh no, I pull away. It's always, and in that situation, or at that time, I don't think I'm the bigger person, but I would rather not. Masengi Bongut, it's getting out of hand. And I don't think I've ever even been in a threatening situation like that where I feel like they're about to get physical and then I run or something. No. It's always just before it even gets to me feeling like it's about to get physical, I pull away. Angithandi nokukhuluma kakhulu, and angithandi ukukhuluma when things are heated. I like to ngiyathanda nokuthi into ngiyicabangisise way before I say it, because I don't like apologizing for the things I said. And I'm so sorry I said this. I was just hurt. So whenever I feel like I'm boiling and I choose not to speak because ngiyazi ukuthi izinto engingazikhuluma ngizokuba ngisona kusasa, and I avoid lento ukuthi ngivuke sengithi, listen, I'm sorry for this and that and that. So I'm very quick to either be silent or pull away from the conversation if it's into such. I don't want to get involved at all.
I think it's a good thing that you say you don't want to be involved in conflicting things or things that are not too good, but don't you think it's necessary sometimes to also not be in a fight, but to, because I believe as people we have the soft side, but we also have a harsh side or a side that's more like Jonga, and you're meant you can't still on me. You know what I mean? Like, do you have moments like that? Because there are people out there sometimes that you need to be real and tell them, no, so you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. No,
Yeah.
I think with setting the record straight, yes, I can. But I feel like I have a high tolerance of like anything. Talking pain, I'm talking ukudinwa, like being annoyed and all of that. I have a high tolerance. Like I will wait to that point, and this is not a good thing. Like it has its good, but also its bad. You know. But yeah, shame. I would tolerate. Then when it gets to that point, I'm like, listen here, please. You know, kind of games I'm not a match, I'm not. But I feel like I do it late, and that's the issue with me. Like I will tolerate. Whereas Omunyu can do it in like first go, listen, don't do this. I don't like this. And I can't do that because I'm always like so scared. I always like to treat people how I would love for them to treat me. So I know ukuthi umuntu makazokhuluma nami maybe ngendlela. Like I take things, I'm fun too harsh sometimes, but I'm always like nangetone, you know, when you speak to me, ngingathanda ukuthi ukhulume nami ngathi anginathu. Like I'm here, you know, ngibhekane nawe, let's talk kahle. Listen, Tabi, I didn't like the way you spoke to me. I didn't like this. I appreciate that. Ungalwi like Nthabiseng, you didn't no, then anguzwa kahle. And when I sit and think, yeah, it's like no. Bese ngiyahetheka because for one I hurt you and angithandi ukhetha abantu, like it's not a good thing.
Yeah.
But also two, I'm confused. You mentioned so many things, but because you were loud, it was even difficult for me to like fathom everything. But I know what you were meaning to me at that point.
Yeah, that's true. I also, for the longest of times, I couldn't survive like under pressure or something that's like, yeah. It's like I can't hear you. You're shouting, but I can't hear you. Like talk normally.
Yeah, like I'm right here.
But that, speak. I can, you know.
Correct.
So I totally get that. But I think one thing I thought about would be like growing up. I always thought like people were just like, people, you know. But then you get to a point where you realize that as people, sometimes we are not people, you know. And that's when I personally was intentional to say, okay, in a situation like this, TK, you need to go hard. Don't be rude, but speak your truth or speak what like communicate. Don't be scared to communicate because there are certain situations at the end. I'm like, okay, there's no need for me to say please because I'm addressing something that didn't sit right with me. So let me remove the word please when I'm addressing this person so that they can take me seriously. So, but I think it's a journey because setting boundaries, it's not easy, but it's very necessary. And yeah, I think you'll get there one day, hopefully.
No, I do need that honestly because this being too kind and nice. Hey, some people take advantage of that too. So
you did mention church earlier on, like as well, Kula with football, like we're going to church every single time. Were you that child was like because like at least yes on or it was something you were like, you know, I'm there for this, you know, it's something I want to do.
Yeah. No, another thing, Ukoko would never force me to do anything. She still never does force me to do anything. As I said, Ukoko Kulmadala, Tabi Nisondwe, it's up to me to definitely do or not. So it was never like she's not strict. Like Ukoko see and Dambama. Not like late, but in the afternoon, like after 12, we are going. So it was always like, oh, nakusasa isikolo, nangizobuya ebusuku. You know, growing up, most of the time, but she would never always be like, Tabi, please, no, Shane. Always fine. When you wanna go, then you can go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did have the church background, but I think going into high school and approaching elementary, that's where me and I we stopped even going to the same church, and she was okay with that. Like she didn't force me down her path of religion, and you know, she was comfortable with me waking up in the morning going to church and then it was cool. Yes, it was wow, but it was okay.
So you're going to church.
Yeah.
Are you born again? Or you're still now just going to church and that's it? You don't yet have a relationship with Christ. How did you get to deciding to actually accept Jesus into your life?
No, I am born again. I am. And it's actually like recent. I did it last year, mid-March, when obviously I was now the side in Cape Town, so born and bred in Johannesburg, and I just felt like I had always been like using isikolo and everything else around me as an excuse for me to ukuthi ngifake laphayana esontweni and and have this serious relationship with God, because it was always like a thing of ngiyasaba ukuthi mangeke ngikwazi ukuya esontweni on a Sunday because I have a submission. Ngizoba like, yo, I feel like I disappointed God. You know, these silly voices in your head. So these were the tiny things that would make me not go as far as to being born again, you know. But when I reached the point where I was like, it feels like I'm always making excuses. Like there's always gonna be something. This is life, you know. If it's not school, it's always gonna be work. If it's not this, it's always gonna. It might be a family tomorrow, you know. I need to take care. There's always going to be something, so I can't always make an excuse, but I need to make the time. So coming to that realization, I was like, I feel like I've also wasted so much time, and then I decided, you know what, let me go for it, which was then last year, March.
That's nice. And then having been born again, what is something you experienced before being born again? And then now that you're born again, it's like, oh man, I should have done this thing a long time ago. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I think being born again has made, I don't want to say limiting, but it has made not doing things easier, because nizoba like, now I have a reason not to. Like previously I would be like, but okay, I'm not yet born again. You know, I can I can have a drink. You know, I can do this. It's fine. But manje, it's like now I'm standing my ground. I'm like, I've built that relationship with God. I'm not turning on.